So this past Valentine's Day, I went out and spoke up about why single lives matter and the disparity that I see in society against singles. Go watch my last video about a few situations where there doesn't seem to be a good reason to treat singles differently, but yet it feels like the right thing to do because of how much influence we have from our peers. Go watch my last video. It's really an eye-opener in my opinion. But there's another disparity that I've noticed, and this one I've actually been aware of for a lot longer than I have about the disparity against singles. When I was 16 years old, I quit drinking soda. And then when I was 17 years old, I cut out all sugar from my diet. Really interesting how I got started. I was going to college part-time. I was 16 years old, and there was a girl that I liked in the class. But I was very overweight, and I didn't have a whole lot of confidence to start anything with her. Now, I went home that day, and I was just about to grab my favorite soda. I used to drink at least 2 liters of soda every day. I was just about to go grab a soda, and then I realized, let's give water a try instead. So I got a glass of water, and I realized that it wasn't so bad. It was one of the easiest calories to cut from my diet. Let's put it that way. It's a lot harder to give up any sort of solid food. And so I realized that, hey, I don't have to ever drink soda again. And I quit drinking soda for good on that day. And it's been 17 years, not one drop of soda, if you can believe that. Okay, I was 16 years old, and I quickly lost a lot of weight without even having to try. And I would have just stopped at cutting the soda except for an experience that I had. So months go by, and one day I'm eating something. I can't remember what it was, but it was obviously something sugary. And later that day I was watching television, and I belched up this gas, and the taste of the gas reminded me of soda, and it disgusted me out of my mind, because in my mind I don't drink soda anymore, and it just grossed me out. And so I stopped consuming all sugar from my diet. I mean, not even as an ingredient, not even while cooking. And it drove my mom crazy, especially. And this is why I say that there's a lot of discrimination. It drove my mom crazy because we used to go out to restaurants as a family, and I stopped doing that because you got to remember, this is 2004. It was not very popular to grill the restaurant staff about ingredients. I mean, nowadays it's a lot easier. Back then, not so much, right? If you had a dietary constraint, you usually ate at home back then. And I think that's the big problem. There were probably a lot of people like me who wish we could ask the restaurant staff if various things had sugar, but because nobody opened up, it was not popular to do so. Now here's the thing. If I go to a gathering of some sort, why does it bother you that I don't eat whatever, right? I guess if I don't eat something that you spent time preparing, okay, fine. But if we go to a restaurant, and I have to spend 2 minutes talking to the wait staff. Now, why does that bother you so much that we can't mingle tea? Why? That doesn't make any sense to me at all. Or maybe at the workplace. Why does it bother you that I don't consume actually, nowadays, I don't eat in the office at all, because I like to keep my eating life and my professional life separate from one another. I got into trouble in the past when I had food cravings during a meeting, and keeping as much distance as I can between the two worlds really helps me not have snack attacks during a meeting. It really does. But why does it bother you that I refuse to eat in the office? Why? And see, when I quit drinking soda and I cut out the sugar in my life, I lost a lot of friends as a result. But I'm glad I lost those friends, because I think people who don't accept you for what you eat aren't good friends to begin with. But I also noticed that I had friends who were vegan or had religious issues, and they didn't seem to have the same problem. I had a classmate who was Muslim, and they refused to eat pork and they refused to drink. And actually, he and I had a funny encounter one time. I ran into him at the grocery store, and he came up to me and said, "Hey, look at that guy over there at the checkout." And I said, "So?" And my friend said that this guy's committing 3 sins because he bought beer and pork, and he paid for his order with a credit card. And in Muslim, in their religion, it's a sin to go into debt. And so my friend said that this guy's committing 3 sins. Now, what's really funny was he mercilessly made fun of me and excluded me from events for refusing to drink soda and all that. And so I decided to see how he would feel if I teased him about his restrictions. And so I would joke with him that I had poured beer into his soda and all that. And he got very upset. I was young and immature at the time. I was 19 years old at the time, and I just wanted to show him the disconnect he had between his preferences and mine. He got very upset. He complained to the school about it, and caused a big wave. And I still couldn't get the point across. I remember talking to my dean about, well, that's how I feel when people tease me about not eating sugar. And my dean got very upset that I would even make that comparison. But when it comes down to it, different preferences, why is one preferred compared to the other? And so I'm thinking about this. Obviously, I don't recommend teasing anybody about their dietary restrictions, whether they're religious based or whether they're health based or just a personal preference. I think we should treat all of those preferences with respect. So I'm thinking this Earth Day, I'm going to rally about people who have health conscious decisions, and I think we should include people even if they refuse to eat what you prepare. I think we should separate that, right? There are people who have religious issues. There are people, I think most people can accept their people refusing their food because they're vegan or Muslim, right? Being health conscious is just one of those. And I think Earth Day is a good day to raise awareness. I'm going to rally for Green Lives Matter on Earth Day. Anyways, just some food for thought there. Zoom out a little bit, right? Just like my last video about singles versus couples in various events, right? If you zoom out, it looks very bizarre, right? If you zoom out, the fact that somebody refusing to eat something bothers you looks really bizarre, in my opinion. Don't get so fixated by what other people or the media says, right? Thanks for watching.